Hi, Run Your Story family. This is Allison Gilliard with Run Your Story, where every story needs to be heard. And wow, if we've not already had some incredible stories this month about fearless warriors, why not add another one with the incredible and gorgeous Haley Orillion? She is absolutely amazing. Guys, her story, all I can say is grab some tissues while you're on the pavement. That's all I gotta tell you. She is an absolute incredible human being. And we talked about this in the podcast, but I actually saw her and met her last year at Brawls Across the Causeway. And again, share this in the podcast when I'm talking to her, but I remember going, wow, like that girl is so brave and so cool, and just her demeanor and everything. And so this was truly an honor to be able to sit down and share Haley's story, because I didn't know Haley's story. I follow her on social media, and so to really hear her heart, her mission, how running has been there for her is absolutely incredible. And it's what I love about this podcast, what I love about this running community, is our stories are so different, but at the same time, we're running together, we're running as one, and it is incredible. Haley is also, which is such a fun story, Haley is also the face of hope for Strides Against Breast Cancer this year, which is happening October 26th. And so, again, signed up with Team We Are Bougie Like That with Run 251 and Blue Bell Bombers. So I highly encourage you to come pink out. It's going to be absolutely incredible. Another amazing event that gives so much to our state. And again, I just want to say thank you to what Strides Against Breast Cancer does and Brawls Across the Causeway, which both have partnered together this month to fuel our run stories. And what an impactful run stories they've done. They've been absolutely, wow, they've made us all cry. They've gotten to me. So I'm truly thankful to know some of the bravest women and men who have continued to fight and continue to not only fight for themselves, but fight for others. And that's what Haley does. And so I'm truly thankful for her and her story, and I'm truly thankful that she sat down and shared her story with us. Guys, make sure you sign up for Strides Against Breast Cancer. We'll see you on October 26th there. And thank you for everyone that came out to help support Brawls Across the Causeway. What a turnout. I ran it virtually in Tuscaloosa, but wow, it was so fun to see the pictures, and it was so fun just to hear everyone. And so again, Kathy and the crew at Brawls Across the Causeway, congratulations on a fantastic event. And I'm really excited about Strides Against Breast Cancer. I'll be there personally. I'm very, very excited to be there and to be walking with Team Bougie. So you can find out more information on their Facebook page, Strides Against Breast Cancer South Alabama. Check them out there for sure. All right, guys, lace up those running shoes, grab a tissue, and get ready and go run with my friend Haley and her run story. I am so excited about this because we have the portrait of hope, the one and only Haley, here with us today. And I want to share this story. I already shared it with you, but I got to share it now. And that is that we talked way back, because last Brawls Across the Causeway is where I saw you. And then I feel like we became Facebook friends like shortly after that, because I was like, wow, that chick is cool. Okay. Such a cool person. And I'm sure you're going to share this later on. But one of the things that got to me was that you run shirtless, but you look cute. Like the glitter, it's absolutely amazing. And anyway, so fast forward. So we've been talking a few months now, at least, about having you on the podcast. And I wanted to make sure for October that you were on here, because you have such an incredible story, which I learned about on Saturday when I found out that you're the Portrait of Hope face for Strides Against Breast Cancer. So thank you for doing this. One, for sharing your story as a runner, but also sharing your story about prevention and how important it is to advocate for yourself and important it is to advocate for the women in our community. So thank you for that.
Thank you. I'm really excited to be here.
So what is your run story, Haley?
My run story is in 2022, I was diagnosed with the BRCA1 gene. Actually, right after I got tested, before I got the results, I realized that I was having a lot of emotional outbursts from the fear of the unknown. I realized that I needed an outlet for that energy, and so I started running, and I never stopped.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible. So you just were like, I'm going to pick something, so you picked running.
I did. Yeah, I ran on and off through high school. I was the classic high school kid who hated running. But I was like, it seems nice. It seems like a great idea. Like, run and go far. But it's just out of breath and it sucks sometimes. So yeah, I just put some shoes on and I said, I'm just gonna go for it. And then the way I felt after a run was like, I'm calm, I'm peaceful, I'm in control. It doesn't matter what happens. I showed up and I finished.
And here you are.
And here I am.
Yeah. And you ran Brawls Across the Causeway 5K.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've ran a couple 5Ks. I've ran a couple half marathons since then, so in the last 2 years, on top of having 6 surgeries in the last 2 years.
6 surgeries?
4 technical different times.
Okay.
But yeah.
Wow.
There were some complications during some of those.
Man.
Yeah. So in the last 2 years, I've had 4 total surgeries and all of that running in between.
Man. Which helped get through.
Oh, yes. 100%. Helped me prepare for surgeries, helped me recover afterwards, helped me feel like myself again.
Yeah. Wow. Let's talk about when you got the news that you carried the gene, which you were kind of already suspected that you were going to have the gene.
So in my family, I have 4 total aunts and uncles. And we know for without a doubt that 2 of them have the gene. The other 2 unfortunately passed away before they could test. But we know that 2 of them have the gene, and then their kids have the gene. So it was very likely that I was going to have the gene as well.
And so what made you were like, okay, because you had put it off for a little bit.
Yes. I put it off for a while, truly because I was afraid of what the results would mean, or having the results but not being able to do anything about them. So that was one of the big things too, was I was afraid that I was going to have this information, that I was going to be very high risk for cancer, but not be able to do anything with that information because I wasn't aware the surgical options or the screening options for the cancers. I also didn't realize that the BRCA1 gene also puts you at high risk for ovarian cancer. So that was a large blow when I found that out. And then to put salt in that wound, that there's really no screenings for ovarian cancer. So that was a really hard kind of subset of finding out that I had the gene. But my aunt had breast cancer at 33. My uncle ended up having colon cancer. I think he was around 52. And it was after his cancer diagnosis, and I think it was either 2020 or 2021, that my family came back to me and they were like, Haley, it's really time. Like, you really do need to get tested. But it really wasn't until I understood what cancer meant and what cancer does to a person that I was like, okay, I have to take this seriously.
So you got the diagnosis.
Yes.
That you had the gene. And so the next step was what?
Man, what was the next step? I just feel like it was like a whirlwind of doctor's appointments and them giving me my options for either screening or surgical prevention, and then me deciding what to do from there. My doctor described me for my ovarian cancer risk as a ticking time bomb.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Well, so your ovarian cancer risk in a BRCA1 gene is 40 to 60% in your lifetime. But all, except for my aunt, all the men in my family were the ones with the gene, so we obviously don't have a good family history of what the ovarian cancer would look like.
Man.
Right. So, being 28 years old, they said you can get your fallopian tubes out, or you can wait till you're 35 to 40 to get the fallopian tubes and ovaries. It's up to you, depending on if you want kids or not. And at that point, I decided that I wasn't going to have children, and so I was like, okay, well, I could wait and get this vaginal ultrasound every 3, 6, 12 months or whatever you decide for yourself to really not show anything, or I can just have surgery. I said, okay. And then I think it was December of 2022, I was in the OR for my first surgery.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man. And this is something that I shared with you early on about how great my experience with my doctor was when I went for, sorry guys that are listening, but us women have to go for screenings. And so when I went for my screening for pap smear, it was, hey, have you been tested genetically for the breast cancer gene? I was like, no, I haven't. And I couldn't tell you what because I didn't know my family history. And my doctor was like, that's enough. We're going to get tested. And that conversation of when I got home was great. What do we do? if it's positive, if I have this. And something that we both shared about was how great the men are in our lives that were like, your physical attributes don't define who you are. And I think that was just very, okay, I can take a deep breath now. And I came back negative with the gene. But as we talked about earlier, they'll say, even if you don't have the gene, that doesn't mean that you won't ever get it.
Yeah.
So to the men out there that support women that are going through this, thank you for being who you are and being rocks for so many, whether it's you're waiting for the results or, in your case, Haley, that you've gone through this. So to have that support system.
Yeah, my husband was super great, and he said, just whatever we need to do. Whatever we need to do, however quickly we need to do it, we will make it work. I will be there for you. He is not a medical person at all, but he helped me drain my drains, like strip my drains after the mastectomy, and recorded my outputs. And it's okay, it's great, we're gonna get through this. I do want to make a little sub note here is that men can also have BRCA1, right? So
that's right, yeah.
Came from my dad, and men with BRCA1 have an increased risk for breast cancer as well.
Yeah, wow. Yeah. That is great, because as someone else has shared in that is that men get breast cancer too.
They do.
So yeah
They do.
Wow. So thank you again for advocating and for being who you are and being such a light in such a dark and not fun. Nobody wants to talk about it, but we have to, and we have to advocate, because now you've advocated and you've paved the way, and now you're the portrait of hope, which is so exciting.
Yeah.
And so I just want to say thank you. I also want to say this too. Again, we talked about it before the podcast, and that was, I have never been comfortable in my own body. And so I don't even run as hot as it is. This year I did once, where I was like, the shirt's got to come off, gonna have to run the sports bra. But when I saw you last year, I was like, you go, girl. I was like, yes. And of course I didn't know your story, didn't know who you were, but I was like, first of all, she got the glitter going on. But I was just, and honestly, it wasn't even thinking, wow, she's so young. I just thought, wow, what a fearless person to be here without a shirt on. Like, to me, that was confidence, because I was like, whoa.
It was hard. Like, I really struggled with, do I take this bold step and not run with a shirt on, right? People can be offended by scars. People can be offended by what they think is happening, right? There have been times that I've wanted to run shirtless outside of breast cancer events and stopped myself, because I'm like, no, I'm going to upset other people. And so I kind of battle with that a lot of like, is this appropriate? Is this not appropriate? But really at the end of the day saying, like, no, like it is.
Yeah. It 100%.
Because one, they should ask questions. And two, it's hot.
Yeah. Girl, it's so hot.
It's hot. And they should ask questions.
Yeah.
And, right, I'm not running as like a beacon, but I'm not going to wear a sports bra because I don't need to.
Right.
Men run without shirts on.
Correct.
So I can run without a shirt
absolutely.
on. It's kind of like the thing that I came down to. But being a previvor, so a person with a gene mutation, it's really hard to show up in places where people are survivors, because there's this survivor's guilt, like, oh, I didn't get it, so I don't know that I belong here in this way, in this kind of meaningful, impactful way. So yeah, I think I just took it off and I said, whatever, I'll just put some glitter on and glitter makes everything better. So it's fine. But like the support that I got from there encourages me to keep doing it. And if people are offended, well,
they're offended.
Happy to educate you.
Absolutely. And I want to touch on that, because again, wow, I would have never even thought that you would feel, well, I haven't gone through that. But you went through so much to where you wouldn't go through that.
Yes, I did. I did.
So, wow.
Yeah.
Man, Haley, the strength you have. Wow.
Thank you.
So, there have been some lessons that you've learned.
Oh my gosh, so many.
From running, from this journey that you've been on. So can you share some of those that you've learned?
Yeah, I think some of the biggest lessons that I learned is to just keep getting up, keep going. I listen to Coach Bennett on the Nike Run app. Love him. He doesn't know it, but I love him. And he does these motivational things through your run. And he always talks about starting line, like getting up, restarting. And starting lines aren't just in your race. Starting lines are before a surgery. Starting lines are after a surgery. Starting lines are deciding to get tested. So there are all these starting lines that we have in our life. And so a lot of the things that I've learned from running is it doesn't matter how slow I am. It doesn't matter my time. It doesn't matter who else is there or who else is looking. The run is for me.
Yes.
The run is for me showing up for me and showing my body what it can do despite all the things that have happened to it.
100%. Sorry. Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And just the way that I feel after a run is just, I mean, my mile is 17 minutes, even on a run, but I'm proud of it.
100%. Yes. That's a pace I could go. We could run together, Haley.
That's nice because I can't run with a lot of these groups.
I love that. Oh my gosh. Wow. So you talked about how you've done some 5Ks and some halves. What is your favorite race?
This is unpopular, but it's a half.
Okay.
I love a half. I love the endurance of it.
Okay.
And going for a long time and the training process, the balancing of like overtraining versus undertraining.
And life.
And life and injuries and all those fun things. A lot of people will talk about how 13 miles is so long, it's so dreadful, all these things. And I was like, I felt good. Like, I felt really good after a half. So I think that's my favorite. I like to go the longer distances. I think it's probably because I'm slower. Maybe.
We have more endurance. We're like, yeah.
I have so much endurance. But going fast just takes me out. I love a half. I would love to do a full. It's my goal. I tried to start training and then my knee said, no, sister. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But I do. I like to go like a 10K to a half.
Do you have a favorite half that you like?
I've only done Pensacola and Gatlinburg.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it was nice.
You went from flat to hilly.
I did. Well, I went from hilly to flat. But I had decided the night before the Pensacola half to run.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
Tennessee was better than Pensacola.
Because did you train for Tennessee?
Yeah.
Okay.
I trained for Tennessee. Tennessee was actually, it was about 4 months after my double mastectomy.
Wow.
So looking back, that was a choice. Not a bad one, but a choice. It encouraged me and motivated me to walk and go and do.
Sure.
But I would be interested to see what it would be like a year out from surgery. Yeah, I'd love to do a lot more halves.
Got you. Okay. All right. You should come run Mississippi Gulf Coast with us. It's in December. That's plenty of time to train.
Where is it?
Gulf Coast. It's Biloxi.
Oh, it's that one.
Yeah.
Yes.
So fun.
It's on my radar.
You should do it.
Okay.
It's so fun.
I'm down.
Do you have a pre-race or post-race routine?
So I'm thinking about the go run tomorrow. I'm thinking what my routine is. And really my routine is to just show up.
Ooh, that's good. Yeah.
Is really to just not run the day before and to just show up. I like to make sure I fuel well, depending on when I'm running. I prepare a lot more for halves. I try to hydrate and fuel better before a half. But for a 5K, 10K, I just make sure that I show up. I pick my outfit the morning.
Flat Haley. Yeah. I like it. Just show up. Make sure you shout like you're like, make sure you go to this run.
And glitter.
Glitter. Yeah, girl.
Glitter and showing up. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Post-race, I haven't been to many of the post-race celebrations.
Okay. That's fair.
But I really enjoy eating a lot. Like, I love a delicious spread after a race. Like, there's not much I look forward to than like the breakfast that I get after a race. Just, it hits different.
I concur with that. Absolutely. Do you have a favorite running item besides glitter? Do you have a favorite running item?
Body glide.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That was my favorite running item.
That is great. Oh, man. Especially when this stupid humidity has been unreal.
So bad. Yep.
Yeah.
Just
lather it up everywhere.
Body glide.
That is great. That's great. What are your running shoes?
Okay, my favorite are Bondi 8s.
Okay.
But I've been testing out some Aharis and Cliftons, and I stay within the Hoka family.
Yeah.
I've tried a lot of different ones. I just keep going back to my Bondis because
You like the cushion.
I love the cushion. I just feel like I could do so much more with the cushion. They say it's bad for your joints, but I'm like, I don't think you know my joints.
That's fair.
They're good for my joints.
Hey, it's your shoe.
It's my shoe.
There you go.
I haven't found one compared.
Now we just got to put glitter on the shoe.
Don't tempt me. I don't know if they'd stick. Maybe rhinestones? Like,
you should totally bedazzle your shoe.
I do have some free time tonight before tomorrow's race.
Oh, that's awesome. You talked about fueling for your long runs. How do you fuel?
So I'm gluten-free.
Okay.
So fueling is challenging because, right, I can't do a ton of breads or things like that. My favorite is a peanut butter honey rice cake.
Ooh,
I'll get like 2 or 3 of those, or some gluten-free like English muffins prior to the race. I love, this is unpopular too, but I love the gel honeys, like the GU honeys.
Yeah, okay.
Those are all the other flavors are trash.
Yeah.
But the honey one, I could slam those all day, every day. Okay? I like these Stroop waffles as well. Those are more during the race, but still. I've also found gummy bears being delicious.
Gummy bears?
Yes.
Okay.
Also a great during the run fuel.
Okay.
And they have good carbs.
Oh, so is there a certain brand of the gummy bears that you like?
I don't like the Haribo ones. They're too...
They're like
too
chewy.
hard. They're too
Yeah.
hard.
Okay.
I like the Albanese,
Okay.
I think.
It's like the white packaging, whatever. Okay.
Yeah, fancy looking ones. Yeah, those are my gummy bears of choice.
I got it. Okay. Do you have a favorite running memory?
Ooh, I don't know. They all just flooded into my brain at the same time. I really enjoy taking pictures during my runs so I can remember what happened.
Sure.
I think my favorite memory is probably when I fell during the Go Run last year.
What?
Like I completely busted up. My knees were like bleeding.
What happened?
I tripped over my foot. And I just got back up and I started running again. And everybody came up behind me and they were like, "Are you okay?" I said, "I'm fine. Everything's fine." And I get to the end and my knees are just like bloody. And everyone's like, "Haley, sit down." And I'm like, "Fine." It's probably my favorite. I guess it's like some kind of moment. What is it? Hero moment? Not hero moment. My comeback moment?
Yeah.
It's my comeback moment. But truly, Bras Across the Causeway last year feels like a fever dream. I almost sometimes forget that it happens because I was just so out of body. It was so overwhelming to me to be shirtless, right? And I think I was guarded to what was happening in case anybody had negative comments, that I didn't hear anything that was happening.
Wow. So that was that your first time?
Going topless?
Going topless.
It was also my only race topless.
No way.
I would love to. So I've been debating to doing more topless.
Yes.
But again, not sure if it's appropriate or not. And it's that delicate balance of like, do I or don't I? But then I found a marathoner that is a flatty that goes topless.
You said flatty.
Yes, that's what we're called flatties.
Here's what
It's actually Flatty Friday.
Look at that.
Yeah. So she runs her marathons topless, no matter the event or for breast cancer versus non-breast cancer. And again, I keep going back to men run shirtless. So why couldn't I?
100%.
But again, I don't want to make a spectacle of myself or draw attention. Does that make sense? Right? If we're there for all these other things, I don't want the attention to be on me. It's like trying to balance the respect of that.
But it's also like you said, though, it gets people questioning.
It does.
It gets people going.
It does.
And I don't know. I like Bras Across the Causeway because it is like a huge party. FYI. Like, it's just a huge party of pink everywhere.
They have delicious food there.
It's so good. The Cammie's ice cream and waffles, just like talking about a spread. That's amazing. But I think it's just also because you don't know who in the crowd, other than when the cancer walk happens first, when you have the survivor walk that happens. You don't know who's who. You don't know. And that's so much of why this podcast is called Run Your Story, because you never know who you're running next to, what their story is. Is this their first time going topless? You know, like, that's huge. Wow. You know, is this did they just get bad news? Did they get great news? Did they celebration? Is this, you just never know where someone's at in their story and what's putting them on the pavement. And so I'm going to say I think you should go shirtless, but that's just me.
For all races or just?
For all races, girl. Own it.
You know, I've been debating about tomorrow. So, interestingly enough, the Go Run was my first race post-diagnosis. It was a week later. And
Whoa. Say that again.
So, the Go Run was so I had decided before the results came back after I tested, I said, if the results are positive, I'll do the Go Run. If they're negative, I'm not going to do it.
Whoa.
So I think I signed up like the day before the Go Run because we were gone on vacation. Yeah. But they were positive, and so the Go Run was my first race post-diagnosis, and I just wanted to show up quietly. I just want to slither into the crowd, run the race, and leave. And that's exactly what I did. I didn't really know anything or anybody yet.
Wow.
So that was like my first real processing run post-diagnosis of the BRCA gene. And it was a lot.
Yeah.
There was a lot of things to work out there.
Sure. Yeah. And now here you are. I think you should just...
I think I should do it.
You should do it.
Oh, man.
Go for it. Get all the glitter.
Oh, there will be lots of glitter. Lots of glitter. Don't worry about that. Travis is my husband, and he's always, there's glitter everywhere. Yes, there is.
Yeah.
You're welcome. I love my glitter.
Wow. Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Again, kudos. Man. Do you listen to music when you run?
Oh, 100%.
Okay. What's your running playlist?
So listen. It depends.
Okay. That's fair. That's a great...
It really depends, because there's also times where I'll listen to audiobooks during a run.
Really?
It just depends on the mood that I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
I typically cannot listen to audiobooks unless I'm moving.
Mm-hmm.
So a run is a great time for that, but I do have to be like honed in, and I want to have to not want to hear my coach in my ear for encouragement. So sometimes it'll be sad songs.
Okay.
Right? If I'm like trying to process through a hard emotion, or I really like to feel my sadness. So I'll listen to the sad songs on purpose to work through my sadness. But what gets me hype is my frat run. So it's like,
that's what it's called?
It's called the frat run. I finally put together my own playlist for my runs, and it's a mixture of sad stuff and frat songs like you'd find in the dirty old basement in 2009. Those get me going. My minute per mile, or my pace at that time, it's like 10 minutes a mile, and I'm like, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get me going. They can, yeah.
So if somebody ever stumbles upon your playlist, they're going to be like, wow.
It's likely that I'm singing it out loud.
There we go.
So,
even better.
I do like to do a lot of dancing and running at the same time.
Yes, you do. And now I'm thinking about a picture that was taken.
Oh.
Right?
Probably.
Did Bras Across the Causeway post that way maybe? I don't know.
Is likely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do lots of dancing. There's lots of ABBA on my run. So it's not just frat, right? Like we really... Broadway. A nice Broadway strut. A little belting. I am probably moving and grooving the whole time I'm running.
That is great. Let's talk recovery. Do you have a favorite recovery tool?
I probably should. I probably should do more recovery. No.
Okay.
Oh, compression socks.
Oh, that's good.
I like those a lot. I like a nice bath after.
Epsom salt, girl.
Yeah. I have a massage gun, but I only really use it if like the shin splints are like really splinting. Probably compression socks and a bath.
That's good. Hey, that's really good. That's good. When you're not running, do you do any cross training?
Yes, I do weightlifting.
Okay.
Yeah, so I actually joined a gym recently. Well, it was 2 years ago. I don't go anymore. But I still do the things I learned. But I did Olympic weightlifting.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah, I love it. It's really cool to throw a barbell over your head.
Yeah, sure.
There's no better feeling.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a fun time.
I'm going to trust you on that one. Is there a race that you're like, not really my favorite? Whether it was a bad day, the weather was bad.
It was the Pensacola half. It was. I think it was hot.
Oh.
And I was not. The course was okay. But it was hot. It was bad.
And there's no shade.
There is no shade. It was downtown Pensacola. So it's gorgeous.
It is gorgeous. But again, no shade.
No shade. No.
Yeah.
It wasn't it. That was when I was like, this is what people mean when they say half marathons. This is how they feel. I get it. This is not a fun one. I'm not having a good time.
Where's the finish line?
Really?
Let's say that somebody comes to you and they're like, hey, I want to get started running. What is a piece of advice you'd give them?
Put your shoes on and let's go.
Oh, that's good. You didn't even think about that.
Let's just go. We're just going to go do it. Yeah. And if you run with me, it's okay because I'm really slow. So we don't have to be...
Unless there's music.
Well, yeah. But then at some point I do get out of breath, so we have to stop.
You're hilarious.
Yeah.
Is there something that you tell yourself? There's a mantra that you have when you want to quit. Is there something that you say to keep going?
I tell myself, hey, you're probably just on the cusp of that runner's high. Just keep going.
Chase the runner's high.
Just keep going. Just a little bit more. You're almost there. There's not a lot of times that I want to quit in the middle. I've never stopped in the middle of a race. Not that it's bad. It's okay if you need to. But even like a training run or like a whatever kind of run, I usually set a realistic goal and I'll say get to it however you need to get to it, whether that's like walking or taking breaks. Let's get through it because I really like to just finish a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think just keep going. You're almost there.
You're almost there. I like that. That's good. You mentioned you want to do more halves. You've also mentioned that you want to have a marathon under your belt. Any other goals that you have?
It's lofty, but I want to get into med school.
Whoa. Okay. You go, girl.
It's really vulnerable, but yeah.
That's huge.
It's not a run goal. It kind of is a run goal.
Yeah.
Med school feels like a marathon.
Yeah.
Like getting in.
Yeah.
So.
Wow. Do you know what you want to do in med school?
I'm open to changing my mind.
Okay.
But I'm leaning GYN oncology. Of course.
Who better else to be there, to walk alongside than somebody who's been there?
Yeah.
Wow.
But also, we need better research.
Yeah.
Like, we need better stuff for gynecological cancers.
Sure.
So, I can be a part of that.
Absolutely.
I would feel like my life has meaning.
That's incredible. Wow. When you aren't running, what fuels you? What are you passionate about?
Cancer. Really, like, safety of women. So, like, felt safety, physical safety of women, making sure that women can show up to places and they feel safe, whether that be a store or their doctor's appointment. Probably more specifically right now, I'm more concerned about them feeling safe and empowered at their doctor's appointments and being able to say what they need to say and advocate for themselves and be respected by that, or letting themselves have the strength to say, I deserve better, and then go finding better.
Yeah.
So, let's say women.
Yeah.
Probably we could boil that down to just women's health.
Yeah. 100%. Wow. Any final words of wisdom?
That's such a big question. Ooh, do it scared.
Ooh. Okay.
That has been my kind of larger life mantra for the last 25 years. It's okay to be scared, but show up anyway. And do it scared.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, all these events that I go to, right? The topless things, the showing up as the portrait of hope, being in all these places, I'm scared. I'm scared of the backlash or whatever negative comments that people might have. So I know that I have a lot of glitter and lots of jams, but I am scared. But I also recognize that I needed these words or these representations to be able to better make my decisions. And there aren't anybody really here in the South. Everybody was more north or really in the UK, honestly, making these decisions and living this life. And I'm thankful for the internet so that I could see them and they could inspire me. But someone needs to do it here. And I will do it scared because I know that it might matter.
Well, as you've made me cry and tear up here, I also want you to know, though, that's incredible, but you aren't alone. You have a community that's behind you. I am a huge cheerleader for you. I already told you I was a fan. I was like, wow. And now that I've gotten to know you and really know your story, and as I've said, like, we've been on social media together, friends, so it's just been like, I feel like I've gotten to know you, but this just means the world to me because now I've really gotten to know Haley. And so you may do it scared, but you're not going to be alone doing it. So
thank you. That's really encouraging for me to be able to keep showing up.
Absolutely. Haley, thank you so much, my friend. Oh my gosh, you are absolutely incredible. And thank you again. Like I said, thank you for sharing your story, but also for showing up and doing this. So I appreciate that.
Thank you for giving the space for it. It's important.
Absolutely. Thank you, my girl.
As Haley likes to say, do it scared. Wow, just what a story. Haley, what courage you have to be able to come on and share that. And I am so proud of you, my friend. And just the advocacy that you're doing for women's health, for breast cancer awareness, for the gene, for ovarian cancer awareness, like keep going. And if you guys see Haley running Charlotte, give her a shout out. Let's cheer her on. Let's make sure that she has a safe place in this community and that she knows that this running community has her back and that we support and love her. So Haley, on behalf of the running community, we love you and we are proud of you and we know you're doing great things. So Thank you for being a voice. Thank you for all that you're doing. And thank you for running with us. We're so excited and cannot wait to see you at Strides Against Breast Cancer, where you'll be the face of hope. And I could not think of a more perfect face. And guys, definitely go up and talk to her at Strides Against Breast Cancer. She will love it. She will tell you everything you want to know. So definitely go and talk to her. She's absolutely incredible. So thank you, Haley. Thank you so, so very much. And thank you to Mars Hill so much for giving us a safe place to be able to record, especially hard stories like this, to be able to have that place that we know there's not going to be interruptions, where there's going to be people that are going to be listening to our stories later on, to be able to have that time. It's very special. And so thank you to Mars Hill Church. They believe in our running stories. They believe in the running community. And we are incredibly thankful for that. Thank you to our Patreon supporters. Oh man, you guys, you have been with me every step of the way for this, and it's absolutely amazing. And I'm incredibly thankful and just absolutely love you guys. So like, share, comment on behalf of our Patreon supporters. They love to see when posts have been shared. So they do a great job of sharing our stories as well. You can join the Patreon family. I absolutely love them. I wish I could do more for them because they're just absolutely amazing. So thank you to our Patreon supporters for believing in Run Your Story, especially this month when you guys knew how hard it was going to be to sit down and interview, and you guys have been so patient and so kind. And I just thank you for that. And thank you to Gilliard Tech Services for editing our podcast. We did a lot of crying this month, but editing the incredible stories that we have had and the warriors that have come and shared their stories. And so he asked me how I get through it. I'm like, I just get through it, and then I get in my car and I cry. So we've had crying sessions because your stories are impacting us. And so again, thank you so much to Gilliard Tech Services for taking the time, for shedding the tears, and for believing in Run Your Story. Guys, if you need a website designed, updated, he's your go-to. So definitely check him out as well. Definitely sign up for Strides Against Breast Cancer. Again, you can find out more online, or you can also find out more on social media. We also have the links that you can go to as well for the South Alabama. I encourage you to join Team Bougie, Bluebell Bombers, Run 251 group. It's going to be so much fun. Very, very excited to be a part of that. And I cannot wait to see everybody on October 26th for Strides Against Breast Cancer. Again, congratulations to Brawls Across the Causeway for an amazing event. You guys rocked it, and I'm so stinking proud of you. So guys, make sure that you tell our warriors this month and every month how important they are, and just to keep fighting, because we're running with them. All right, guys, until next time, go run your story, because every story needs to be heard.